This is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I really don't know what to tell you. Sox simply prove it can get worse. We'll get into Richard Fitts. We'll get into Chapman. Leadoff walks come back to sink the Red Sox. Or actually, just walks in general come back to sink the Red Sox. You're with us on our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, Misery Loves Company. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer, show host. Want to take a moment and thank the guys who led us into Fenway Park back in the 1980s just so we could get a sneak at the playing field. That was certainly awesome. We are providing reaction every Red Sox game on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we're going to discuss Richard Fitts and his outing. He was terrific until he left the game with an apparent injury. I do believe we have an update on that. I've got Nesson on the background right now, and Alex Cora is addressing the media. Little hitting. Fitts goes down with an injury. He was cruising, and Chapman gives it up in the bottom half of the ninth inning. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation. Watching live with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, hit that comment button. Join the conversation. We encourage you to subscribe to the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel and also give us a great rating wherever you listen to us with the audio version on the podcast as well. And also feel free to hit me up on the X at Lennox on Baseball. Thanks for making Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Sports Podcasting Network, your team every day. So the Red Sox lose it. They've dropped the first two games of the series, and they've got their ace on the mound, Garrett Crochet, who's going to try to help the Red Sox avoid the series sweep against a team that entered the series on Friday on an 8-game losing streak, and oh, by the way, Crochet's former team as well.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Red Sox losing the bottom half of the ninth inning. Aroldis Chapman giving up his first run of the season. 6 appearances, 5 2/3 scoreless. I mean, come on. It was just one of those days, and it's one of those spells right now for the Red Sox. Luis Robert, a leadoff walk. Now, what I thought was going to happen in the bottom half of the ninth inning did not happen. But Chapman, after the leadoff walk to Robert Jr., strikes out Vaughn. Robert, a stolen base with pinch hitter Brooks Baldwin up there. And Chase Mydroth, a single and 3 walks in his major league debut against his former team, the Red Sox, on Friday, was on deck. And at that point, I'm thinking we're going to talk about Chase Mydroth with the game-winning base hit against Aroldis Chapman, ball game over. Instead, he's on deck, and it's Baldwin who comes through. Base hit, Robert scores, ball game over. White Sox have taken the first 2 games of the series. Red Sox offensively, what do you want to talk about? Lineup changes? Yeah. Chapman doesn't get the job done in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Leadoff walk comes back to get him. But Alex Cora changes up the lineup. Romy Gonzalez at the top. Ref Snyder in there. Durant sits. And I'm glad it's early on in the season. You know, Durant's dealt with, and I say dealt with, but, he had to address and kudos and tip of the cap, everything that Jarren Duran with the Netflix documentary coming out, and being open and honest about a couple of years ago thinking about taking his life. I'm glad he got a day off. It's a mental break. It's a break. So Duran not in the lineup with a lefty, Martin Perez, former Red Sox pitcher, on the mound. Tristan Casas also not in the lineup. Gonzalez put together some solid plate appearances in the game. The Red Sox actually had a 2-0 lead. And Richard Fitts was cruising. Fitts was cruising right along. Picked up his 5th strikeout in the 5th inning. Omar Narvaez reached with a base hit. I don't believe they've changed that, but that was an error on Christian Campbell in that 5th inning. Lou Merloni on Nesson, first Nesson reference, said this is the big leagues. That's an error. But Fitts got out of the 5th inning. Did not allow the leadoff man to reach in his 5 innings of work. Left with a 2-0 lead, his 7th big league start, and the Red Sox are now 0-7 in his outings. He took a no decision because in the bottom of the 6th inning, Fitts going 5+ innings, threw a pitch, sort of grabbed. Dave O'Brien and Lou Merloni said it, and I had to see it a couple of times before I finally realized he was grabbing sort of on his right side, his pitching arm side, and it looked like he was grabbing at his pectoral. Well, it looked like they're saying it's a shoulder issue. That was from Jemai Webster during the Nesson broadcast late in the game. So not grabbing at the pec, and I'm trying to give you a visual here, but the front of the shoulder. Gave no indication over the first 5 innings. Not sure if it was something that he was just trying to pitch through or not. We'll find out in the coming days. We've been begging and pleading for Giolito and Bello. They still have rehab assignments and outings that they need. They're not quite ready. And you saw it with their innings and the number of pitches that they've thrown so far on their minor league rehab assignments. You can't rush those guys. When they're ready, they're ready. So what the Red Sox are going to do, I doubt Fitz makes his next start. They'll back him off a little bit. And maybe he's out for weeks. Maybe he's out for months. We do not know that right now. But just a sick feeling. So Fitz, with the batter at the plate, Kelly comes in. Kelly walks the batter that he faces and then gives up the home run to Luis Robert. And that made it a 2-2 ball game. And it's a sick feeling on so many different levels, but lose the first 2 games to the White Sox, that's a sick feeling. But Richard Fitz, the way he was going, that's the stomach dropping right there. Red Sox score first, got on the board with 2 runs, had a 2-0 lead. And Fitz did a nice job as the Red Sox got the lead for him. And you're thinking, hey, they're 4-0 on the season. When scoring first, Narvaez in the 5th inning got things going. And then Fitz shut him down to the bottom of the 5th. And Lou Merlone says, hey, right here, give a shutdown inning. He did that. But in that 5th inning, Narvaez leadoff base hit, Rafaela RBI triple. Great to see. And then runner at third, nobody out in the inning. It's the 5th, but the White Sox decide nobody out, we're bringing the infield in. At that point, you want to avoid a big inning. But against the Red Sox, the way they're going, a big inning is 2 runs. Gonzalez, I think it would have been a base hit even if the infield was back. Maybe a liner to short and to my drop, but I think that ball gets into left field and Rafaela scores and it makes it 2-0. But that was the big inning for the Red Sox. Could not add any more. Gonzalez RBI base hit. Devers hits into a double play. Bregman, 2-out walk. Ref Snyder strikes out. Do we really want to talk strikeouts? Because at this point in time, as Crash Davis said in Bull Durham, strikeouts are boring and they're fascist. Well, they're definitely boring. And the Red Sox are definitely striking out way too much. Enough of me. Let's get to you. With us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Hey, I don't know how to contain this misery. I can't give you a hug virtually. I guess I could. You can take it. But this is just you're 2 games under 500 through your first 16. Is somebody going to hit a home run one of these days? That'll be part of Numbers Tonight coming up. Andrew the GOAT. Oh, Andrew, Andrew, it's like you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, what can the Red Sox do to me today? Because you're down on this team right now. And I said it after Friday's loss. The sick feeling, that taste you have in your mouth right now. Crochet can go out there tomorrow and be brilliant for 8 innings. And they can win 5-0, get timely hittings. You're not going to buy into this right now. This team needs to go on a 2-week stretch where they win 10 out of 12 or something for you really to buy in right now. Because it's not there. Andrew the GOAT, yeah. This Red Sox team, yeah, I'll use the word, sucks this year. Right now they do. Right now they certainly do. I didn't start Locked On Red Sox Postcast with a Locked On Podcast Network until June of last year. And I know it was doomsday scenario. But I started with the Phillies and Yankees series in June at home at Fenway. And they took 4 out of the 6, taking 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia, 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. I was adamant all the way through September. It was a playoff team, and I still believe it. And Alex Cora on the Netflix documentary, I've only watched episode 1 so far, but saying, yeah, last year's team should have been a playoff team. This year's team, you're not in the playoffs come October. Miserable failure. And right now, there's misery. Plenty to go around. Andrew the GOAT. Red Sox might as well play a game with no fans at the games at home because the way they're playing, they don't deserve to have fans in the stadium. The way things are going right now in Boston, most people right now are on the Celtics train. And that's the way it was when I started up last June. Celtics were getting ready for the NBA Finals or were already in there, and they win the NBA title. Could be very well Red Sox fans right now, turn it off. I hope you don't. I hope you stick with us. Because I do believe there's a turnaround. I just don't know when it's coming. It could start with Garrett Crochet, where, again, you have your ace trying to avoid a series sweep on Sunday. How about the storylines going into Sunday? Crochet's already ended one losing streak, did that in the Orioles series. He's going to have to do it again. Michael, Narvaez should have thrown on that ninth inning base steal. I was kind of, not that I was distracted, but I didn't see how things played out there, how he received the ball. But right now, everyone's going to run on Narvaez and Sable. That's just the way it's going to be. Andrew the GOAT. Of course, a former Yankee gives up the lead. Hey, you know, he's your guy now. Chapman is your guy now. Harry, losing 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, embarrassing. Well, you've lost the first 2. And you know, the White Sox, they put themselves in a position to sweep this series. So you've dropped 2 out of 3. Harry, you're assuming the White Sox aren't going to win on Sunday in the finale. I don't think you can assume that right now. This team's snake-bitten in so many different ways. I mean the Red Sox, not the White Sox. The White Sox, hey, they lost 8 in a row. Came home, hey, you know what? We've won 2 in a row. G's World. Unreal, man. Unreal. Lanny Fertari, longtime Pirates play-by-play announcer, mentor early on in my minor league days, said, be careful when you use the word unbelievable. And even G's World, I think unreal too, because right now you have to believe this is the reality. So unreal, it really isn't. This is the reality. This is the situation that they put themselves in. No one to blame but themselves. You can't put this on the front office at this point in time because they went out and made the moves. Now you have to see how it plays out, of course. This is on the players on the active roster right now. That's who it's on. Plain and simple. I've said it before. You're in the big leagues. You're expected to do one thing, produce. They're not. Michael again. Why do the Red Sox refuse to bunt? I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, they steal bases. Think about it for a second. Moneyball. We pay you to get on base. Well, you want me to steal second? No, we want you to score runs. They're not scoring runs. They're stealing bases. They're getting into scoring position. I don't have the exact number. But they've scored 3 or 4 runs when the leadoff man has reached so far this season through the first 16 games. That's not the leadoff hitter of the game. That's a leadoff hitter of every inning of every game they've played so far. They've only scored 4 or 5 runs when the leadoff man has reached, and it's closing in on 40 times reaching base. So you refuse to bunt. And really? We've seen David Hamilton try to put bunts down. I'm not asking Rafi Devers or Alex Bregman to put a bunt down. I'm asking them to find an alley or go down one of the lines. But anyone from Romy Gonzalez to David Hamilton to Rob Refsnyder, you might ask them to get a bunt down. They may not be able to do it. I have no idea on how much time they spent on bunting drills during spring training. But I'll tell you one thing. I know they don't take infield every single day, but Christian Campbell should be working with either Alex Cora or somebody else on the staff every day at second base. Every single day. If Ron Washington, the now manager of the Angels, was on staff, I'm losing it here in so many ways. There should be an everyday routine for Christian Campbell. If he's going to be your second baseman, there should be an everyday routine. You can take a day or 2 off here and there, but he should be working every single day. Now, he might be, but the errors and the different things that he's doing right now, he needs to clean it up at second base. You can't have a ball hit to Campbell either right at him or to his left or right now and thinking, is he going to make the play here? And that's kind of how I feel at this point in time. Numbers of the night, I'm not sure how it gets better, but the Red Sox right now are proving that it can get a whole heck of a lot worse, and that is not good. Locked On Red Sox Postcast, we are presented by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade. Supply House, whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done and get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you are going to find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. Again, that's supplyhouse.com. Use promo code SH5 for 5% off on your first order. Red Sox fall on the road. More strikeouts offensively. I don't need to go through every guy in the lineup. Again, Romy Gonzalez in the leadoff spot, and I liked it. I mean, he had a good approach at the plate overall for the game. But the Red Sox end up falling 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth inning. First time the opposition has walked off against the Red Sox on the season. But, numbers of the night, Red Sox not homering for a sixth straight game. Sox have 11 home runs over their first 16 games. They had 20 home runs. I looked it up. Thank you, Baseball Reference. They had 20 home runs for their first 16 last year. How's that carry over in any way whatsoever? It doesn't, but I'm just trying to, again, be steadfast and articulate the point that the Red Sox aren't even hitting the ball into the ballpark. They're not making a whole heck of a lot of contact either. 11 times in the first 16 games where they have struck out 10 or more times, including 5 in a row. 11 times in the first 16 games where they have struck out 10 or more times. Nobody on this team is picking up anybody else. Now, Zack Kelly, you want to get on Zack Kelly for that sixth inning. He wasn't warming up. Fitz was cruising. And as he took the mound and started the bottom of the sixth inning, you're thinking 6, and you're really, I think, dialed in for, let's see if he can go 7. Speaking of 7, the Red Sox are now 0-7 in Fitz's 7 big league starts from last year into this year. He deserves better. But Kelly gave up the walk, then the 2-run home run. Tough position to be in. But a walk, home run. Bottom of the ninth inning, a walk, a stolen base hit, ball game over. White Sox 3-2. They go from 2-10 to 4-10, and they're 500 at home. And they got to go out tonight in Chicago, celebrate, and think, you know what? We're going after our former guy. We're going after Crochet on Sunday. We're going to sweep this series. And you can't go to bed right now as a Red Sox fan thinking that's not a real possibility. Because absolutely, it's a possibility for the Red Sox. 6 straight games without a home run. And the pitchers, right there until Kelly gave up the home run to Luis Robert, by the way, his first of the season. Red Sox had to avoid the series sweep at home against the Blue Jays by winning the finale. That's one thing. But now you go into Sunday with your ace on the hill, looking to avoid being swept by the White Sox. Come on. It's just not good right now. It's just not there for the Red Sox. Abysmal. 9 runners left on base, doing nothing late. 1 for 6 runners in scoring position. And again, Romy Gonzalez kind of going back through my inning by inning for the game. Gonzalez was down 0-2 and drew a walk in the first inning against Martin Perez, who, by the way, is a soft-tossing lefty at this point in time. Right? But in the 7th inning, Rafaela, walk, stolen base, Gonzalez, ground out. Close play at first base. Lou Merloni continued talking about it afterwards, but the call in New York was confirmed. Devers walked. Bregman, pop out. Refsnyder out. Now, Refsnyder up there against the righty, and they sort of touched on it a little bit. Dave O'Brien, Lou Merloni. There would have been back and forth there. If you had put up Duran or Casas, and I would have gone Duran first, you put the left-handed batter up there, they had a lefty ready to go. So I don't think you second-guess that. You want a positive, Slayton. 1, 2, 3, bottom of the 8th inning. That top of the 9th inning as well. Top of the ninth inning, Rafaela leading things off in a 2-2 game. First pitch he sees, grounded to third, 1 out. Gonzalez. Now, again, I said I liked his plate appearances. Ninth inning, sees 2 pitches, grounds out to third, then Devers lines out to right, inning over. Couldn't even get it to the 10th inning where you would have had a runner at second base. Couldn't get it that far. As Baldwin plays the role of hero and Chapman takes the loss, gives up his first run of the season, and, go out and enjoy. Go out and enjoy your Saturday night. Think about the Celtics and what they're about to embark on as they try to defend their NBA title. And by the way, we also host Locked On Celtics as well on the Locked On Podcast Network and also on Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel as well.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I'm not going to say it was when Fitz exited the game in the 6th inning with the right shoulder injury. It was the bottom half of the 9th inning. Really, it was, you walk the leadoff hitter. Leadoff walks, 2-out walks, they'll kill you. And Chapman could not get the job done, could not leave Robert on base in scoring position. And again, Baldwin came through. I really thought the way things are going right now, my draft with 2 outs was going to come through. Didn't get that far. Did not get that far. Turning point of the game, though, the leadoff walk in the bottom half of the 9th inning. If you're Chapman, you're veteran enough to know, fill up the strike zone. If Robert had hit his second home run of the game and walked off with a home run, you know what? Challenged him. But no, you walk him. And you walk off the field with the defeat as well. Garrett Whitlock probably would have been on for the 10th inning. Chapman would have gotten 1 inning. Garrett Crochet goes in the finale. Afternoon baseball from Chicago, then it's off to Tampa, Florida for a 3-game series against the Rays starting on Monday. Hey, Thursday, you win against the Blue Jays, and you're thinking you're playing the White Sox now 7 times over a 12-day period or so. Well, the White Sox right now are up 2-0, and you've got 1 more in this series, and then you've got 4 against the White Sox at Fenway. Wake up. It's time. It's time. Did not like what Casas said after the game Saturday. Again, don't need the excuses. Don't need you to think about the next time you make that play, you're going to make the play. No. Make the play. That goes back to Saturday. Casas was a spectator, or Friday rather. Casas was a spectator on Saturday. Crochet goes in the finale. And even with a win, even with Crochet being at his ace-like level, you're not going to feel good about this series. You couldn't feel, you looked at the schedule last year as I wrap up here. You looked at the schedule last year and you went back into July and you went back to the first half of the season and you saw the Red Sox got handled by the White Sox in Chicago and you're like, whoa, what happened there? Same thing this year. You're going to look at this series in June, July, and August and say, they lost 2 out of 3 in Chicago. They were 15, 16 games into the season and they dropped 2 out of 3. They haven't put it together yet. On board, within minutes of the final out, Sunday, series finale. Red Sox, White Sox going for the sweep. Red Sox looking to avoid being embarrassed on the north side of Chicago over the weekend. As always, we want to acknowledge and tip our cap to our sponsor, Supply House. Supporting our sponsors is supporting us with Locked On. And as always, we appreciate you being on board with us as well. This is the place where misery loves company. So keep on coming back. We'll hit it from a lot of different angles from game to game. But right now, this team, it's time to look in the mirror, light the fire under your own proverbial tuchus, and get forward. It's not on the clubhouse. It's not on the front office. It's not on the Alex Cora and his staff. It's on the active players currently on the roster. Locked On Red Sox, number 1 place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team every day. Go out and enjoy your Saturday. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be back with us on Sunday, hopefully talking about a terrific performance from Garrett Crochet and maybe even some timely hitting.